share a story with you today. I think Jenty may have heard this story before because I shared it once in our Wednesday evening class. This is a story of the sage. Oh, yes, get comfortable, get comfortable. This is the story of the Rishi sage Marichi. Today, we're going to actually look at Marichi Asana 1, which is a bind and a forward fold. But I've got variations. If you don't want to fold or what have you, you'll still get the benefits of the asana. And just so you know, the mudra that we're going to take today is Jhana mudra, and it'll all make sense. And we're going to do Nadi Shodhana, and we're going to sing the Gayatri mantra. Well, you don't have to sing it. I can sing it, and you guys can just enjoy the melodic strains of my voice. I forgot to put you on mute. Okay. So Marichi, as I said, powerful sage. He's one of the sons of Brahma, the divine creator. And he was married to Kala, and that union with Kala birthed the son Surya, who is the lord of the sun god, the giver of life. And he also is no, that's not correct. My bad. That's his grandson. His grandson is Surya. His great grandson is Manu, who is the father of humanity. So he comes from a long lineage of some real powerful people. Maybe it went to his head, who knows? Anyways, the story goes that one day he was in the forest collecting flowers and fruits and all this stuff. And he went home and he was exhausted, super, super tired. So he had a seat and he said to his wife, her name is Dharmavarta, and he said, come and wash my feet. Well, being the obedient wife that she is, she went and she started to wash his feet. But then there was a knock on the door. So she turned around to go to see who was at the door, and it was Brahma. So she's like, whoa, Brahma's here. He's like the Lord of creation, ultimate divine being, the creator. And here I am washing my husband's feet, who is a powerful sage. Do I continue washing his feet, or do I go tend to Brahma? Well, she chose to go tend to Brahma because in her mind, the hierarchy, Brahma, husband, right? Well, Marichi was livid. He was pissed off. He was like, how dare she? And in a fit of rage, not even thinking about it, cursed her and turned her into stone immediately, just like that. Well, the story goes that Dharmavata, she was obviously devastated because as far as she was concerned, she made the right choice. And so she started to meditate and meditate and meditate and meditate. And Lord Vishnu saw this and he had a conversation with her. And she begged him to reverse the curse. But Marichi is so, so powerful that not even Lord Vishnu could reverse it. The only thing he could do was to make her into a holy stone, which also made her very desirable by all the gods. So that's essentially the story of Marichi. Why am I sharing this with you? Well, because I've come to realize, much like Marichi, sometimes when people don't either one, do what we think they should do, or we find ourselves in a situation where someone says something to you or does something to you, and you don't stop and think about it and reflect on it, and you just react, you can't change what you've done. The damage is done. You can't undo it. So the invitation today is to stop and reflect before we speak or before we act. Because maybe, just maybe, if he stopped for a few seconds to think about the fact that she went to wash his father's feet, he might have had a different reaction. Maybe what might have happened is that after Brahma left, he would have said, yo, though, what was up with that? Had a conversation about a level-headed conversation about it, and maybe she would not be stoned today. Whether she's holy or not, perhaps that would not have happened. So that's why we're looking at Marichi. And the ironic thing about Marichi is that his name means a ray of light. And that got me to think about the Gayatri mantra, which is all about illuminating our insight and I thought that perhaps if he had stopped, like I said, and thought about what he was doing, or thought about what had happened, perhaps he would have chosen a different response. So the mudra today is we're going to just keep our hands, for now, we're just going to keep our hands in Surya Namaskar or Namaskar mudra, or Anjali's, you may know it, at the heart as an offering. And the mantra we're going to sing is the Vedic Gayatri mantra. So I'll say the first line. I guess we can try doing a call and response kind of lightweight. So I'll just say the first line. You can repeat it, and then we'll move like that. And there are 4 lines. So the first line is Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Good. Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Di Mahi. Devasya Di Mahi. Dio Yona Tracho Dayat. Good. So just take a moment. I'm going to say it again, and you can close your eyes and just feel into this mantra, and just take a moment to reflect on the story of Marichi. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dio Yona Prachodayat. Oh. You can take your left hand into Jana Mudra, index and thumb, and rest it on your thigh. And bring your index and middle finger to the base of the thumb in Vishnu Mudra. We're just going to do a few rounds of Nadi Shodhana to balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain, to settle us and to ground us and to calm us down, so we can make clear and concise and well thought out decisions and choices. So if your eyes are still closed, you can keep them closed, or you can open them if you prefer. Take a full breath in, both through both nostrils, and exhale fully. Close your right nostril and inhale left. Close your left, exhale right. Inhale right, close, and exhale left. Inhale left, close, and exhale right. Inhale right, close, and exhale left. Inhale left, close, exhale right. Inhale right, close, and exhale left. Inhale left, close, exhale right. Inhale right, release the mudra and exhale through both nostrils. Stay here for a moment with your eyes closed, and you can bring your right hand into Jana Mudra. And just rest for a few moments in the resonance of your breath. Just take a moment to reflect and to think before you move or act or speak. And you can open your eyes. I forgot to mention grabbing a strap or something you can use as a strap. If you don't already have it near you, you can take a moment to grab that now. Just because of one of the hand positions we're going to go in today, and we're going to do a bind. So it might be helpful to have a little bit of extension so you can lengthen your limbs a little bit to make it more comfortable at your shoulders. Okay. So release your right hand to the earth or up onto fingertips. Take a big breath in, float your left arm up and exhale over to the right. Just hold it here, draw the left shoulder down a little bit and lift up the right side of the body and breathe into the left side. On your next in-breath, back to center, exhale to release. Go ahead and change sides. Inhale, right arm lifts up. And exhale over to the left. 2 full inhales and exhales here. Inhale back to the middle and exhale to release. Moving into a twist. Ground the pelvis. Inhale, stretch your arms up and exhale over to your left first. Going to the lunar side. Left hand behind you, right hand on your left knee or thigh. Full breath in and exhale, twist. Unwind back to center on the in-breath. Grow a little bit longer in your spine if it's possible, and exhale, twist over to your right. The more fiery side. Inhale back to the middle, stretch it all the way up. And exhale, release. Go ahead and make your way onto your hands and knees. If you have a prop, you can put it off to the side. You might not need a block today, but always good to keep one within reach. So toes tucked, knees slightly behind the hips, so not perfectly stacked underneath. And the wrists are a little bit further forward from the shoulders, fingers spread wide. Just make sure there's a clear line from left to right, from wrist to wrist. Move through your cat and cow. Inhale, lift your sitting bones in your heart. Exhale, round your spine. Exaggerate the retraction and protraction of your shoulder blades here, just to warm the shoulders up a little bit more as you move through these 2 spinal movements, flexion and extension. The next time you come into cow pose, really retract your shoulders and then slide the shoulder blades down to your hips and hold it. Pull your low belly and low ribs in and then reverse it. So cat pose and protract. Pull the low ribs and low belly in this time. Chin is moving towards your chest. Really push the floor away from you so you feel that opening through the mid upper back. And then come back to neutral spine. Shift your hips back towards your heels. You might need to walk your hands a little bit further forward, just a bit, maybe like half of the width of your hand or the length of your hand. Inhale, shift forward, spin the biceps forward. Exhale, bend the elbows any amount here. Inhale, press back up, and exhale, sit back. We'll do 2 more like this, and then we're adding leg extension as we shift forward. and back. Continue to move with your breath. Allow the breath to lead the way. Inhale forward and exhale back. So the next time you shift forward, sweep your right leg out behind you. So the minute you start to bend the elbows, float your right leg up, spread the toes, and then reset your knee and shift your hips back. Second side, shift forward, float your left leg out behind you, spread the toes, pick the inner thigh up, and reset. Right side again. This time, straighten out the elbows, but keep the right leg up. Externally rotate through the hip and sweep it all the way over to the right. Place your right foot down. Take a full breath in here and exhale, come down onto your forearms. Now, this may be as far as you want to go today, and that's fine, but if you can, we're going to go for a twist. So from here, come up onto press down into your right palm and lift the elbow off. Take an inhale here and exhale, thread your left arm over to your right. So you're looking over to the right. Your right shoulder, come up onto the right fingertips, and the left shoulder may not touch the ground. That's okay, but just make sure it's not moving up to the air. If it is, draw it away from your ear so your neck stays nice and long. Move your inner thighs back. Take a full breath in. On the exhalation, press down into the right fingertips more and start to roll a little bit deeper into the twist, just to deepen it just a little bit. Press down again into the right hands to pick yourself back up. Plant your hands. Listen carefully. Flex your right ankle. Pick your right leg up. Sweep it up behind you. Take a full breath in here. And now exhale. Push yourself up into three-legged dog. Bend your right knee and step it through to the top of your mat. Rest your left knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Arms lift up, upper body lifts. On the exhalation, bend your elbows, reach around and interlace your fingers. Draw the head of the arm bones back. Hug the inner shins in, move the inner thighs back, and lift the heart forward and up for low lunge with a shoulder stretch. Slowly release. Plant your hands and just step back into active child's pose. Slow breath in and out. While you take a moment in child's pose, balasana, I'm just going to turn around for the second side so I'm not kicking into my wall. And come back onto your hands and knees and shift forward again. So we're going to repeat that sequence on the second side. So from active child's pose, arms are stretched out nice and long, palms are firmly planted. Pull yourself forward into that kneeling plank position. Exhale, bend the elbows a little bit. Stretch the elbows out and sit back. So the breath. Inhale, move forward. Exhale it's like a baby chaturanga. Inhale back to the plank and exhale back to active child's pose. So let's float the left leg this time. Inhale, sweep forward, bring the left leg up. And exhale it back. Go again, inhale forward. And exhale it back. This time we're going to keep the leg up. So shift forward, left leg lifts. Externally rotate at your hip and sweep your leg around. Place the foot down. Move the inner thighs back. Come onto your forearms and just pause here for a moment. Check your alignment, elbows in line with shoulders here. And I'll press down into the left hand to lift the elbow up. Take a full breath in here. And on the exhalation, slide your right arm over to your left. And your gaze is looking that way as well. Come up onto your left fingertips. So your elbow is pointing up on the left arm. Draw the head of the left arm bone back and down. Take a full breath in and exhale. See if you can go a little bit further. Explore what's possible here in this twist. One more full inhale and exhale. And then slowly release. Plant your hands and come back up. Pick the left leg up. So start by flexing the ankle first and spread your toes out. Just activate the power of the leg here. Pick it all the way up and sweep it around behind you. Ground your hands, pull the belly and ribs in, and push through. Lift the left inner thigh up as you lift up into your three-legged dog. And step your foot forward. Rest your right knee down. Draw into the center. And inhale, reach it up. Bring your arms around behind you and interlace the fingers where the opposite thumb is on top. So right thumb on top this time. Full breath in and exhale, reach it back. Slowly release. Flatten your hands, and this time step forward to the front of your mat. Heel to your feet to hips distance, or actually about as wide as the mat. If that feels really comfortable, if what's going as wide as the mat is too much, maybe a little bit less. If you have a block handy or a ledge or something nearby, you can use that to rest your hands on. Moving into our functional forward fold. So checking that the outer edges of your feet are lining up with the edges of your mat, whether they're actually touching them or not. Bend your knees and shift your weight into your heels. Move your inner thighs back and apart. Rest your hands on your block or come up onto fingertips. The more you hinge your hips back, you want to counter that by reaching your hands forward to prevent you from falling over. Take your hands a little bit wider than shoulder width so you're not feeling bunched up in your shoulders. Pull your chin in to lift the back of the head, keeping the back of your neck long. Take a full breath into the back and sides of your rib cage, expanding it nice and full. And on the exhalation, draw your navel in towards your spine. 2 more rounds. Full breath in and out. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Hold the breath out and take your hands towards your shins. Leading with the back of your head and your heart. Inhale, slide your hands all the way up to the thighs and come up to a standing position. Exhale, step the feet to hips distance and come to the very top of your mat if you're not already there. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, hinge your hips and come into Uttanasana, your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale it back to plank pose. You can modify and rest your knees down if you wish. Take a full breath in here and exhale. Bend your elbows into chaturanga. Come all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, curl your heart forward and up for Bhujangasana Cobra. Slowly release and exhale it into downward facing dog at home, Mukha Svanasana. Hold it here. One of the things that we often, I guess we get so stressed out and so riled up, we just automatically respond. But I find it can be truthfully helpful to pause and just really stop and think about, ask yourself some questions. Why did that bother me? Why is this making me so upset? Is it justified? Am I justified in feeling this way? On your next inhalation, lift your gaze to your thumbs and step or hop to the top of your mat. Exhale into Uttanasana, your fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, ground down into the earth, and inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands into your heart. Let's do another round, Surya A. Inhale, sweep it up. And exhale. Inhale halfway and exhale into your plank. Modified or not. Bend the elbows as you exhale into chaturanga. Come all the way down. This time, let's take Shalambhasana. Sweep your arms around behind you and interlace your fingers. On your next in-breath, curl the heart forward and up as you float your legs. And exhale, hold it here. Slowly release. Hands by the sides, press yourself up into downward facing dog. Full inhale, full exhale. 1 more inhale. Exhale all the air out. Keep the air out this time and step forward or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold deeply. Bend your knees and inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. One round of fearless heart namaskar. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step your left foot back. Rest your knee. Breathe into the back of the body and inhale, sweep it up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, Palankasana plank. Rest your knees. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Shalambhasana or Bhujangasana. You choose. Slowly release and exhale it up and back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pick your left leg up, bend your knee and open up your hip. Re-straighten your left knee and re-square the pelvis. Step your left foot forward. Keep your right hand down, rest your right knee. Inhale, reach your left arm forward and exhale, open up into a twist. Hug strongly into your midline. Rest the fingertips to the earth, step forward into your forward fold. Inhale halfway, exhale fold, bend your knees, inhale over the long spine, rise up. Hands to heart. Last time on the right side, inhale, reach it all the way up and exhale all the way down. Inhale halfway, exhale, right foot steps back, rest your knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, step it back. Inhale, plank. Rest your knees. Exhale, Ardha Chaturanga. Inhale, Shalambhasana. Release. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Sweep your right leg up, bend your knee, open your hip. Re-extend and square and step it through. Left knee rest, left hand stays. Inhale, sweep the right arm forward and exhale, open up into your twist. Hug into the midline. Reach your fingertips to the earth. Ground your right leg and step forward into your fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees and inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Pause here for a brief moment. Just to contemplate and reflect. How many times have we been guilty of responding without thinking first and then having to, one of the terms is eat crow, go back and apologize and try to diffuse a situation that could have been avoided if we had just paused and taken a moment. And we may not have been the instigator, may not always be the instigator. Sometimes we are the receiver. We're on the receiving end of this reaction, this seemingly unwarranted reaction. Release the mudra. Inhale, circle your arms around and up. Catch a hold of your right wrist with the left. And exhale, pull yourself over to the left in Dudalasana. Inhale to the middle, switch your grip, and exhale over to your right. Inhale to the center, and exhale, come all the way down into Uttanasana. Listen carefully, we're going into a bind here. So step the feet just a little bit wider than hips distance. Bend your knees a whole lot. You may need your strap for this, but let's see what happens first. So take your left arm on the inside of the leg, between the legs. Oh, let me turn this way. This might make more sense if I do it this way. So you're going to bend the knees and take the left arm between the legs, internally rotate through your left shoulder, and then sweep your right arm around and grab a hold of your left hand. Okay, are we there? Okay, so from here, so remember I did say to bend your knees a lot. If you're not bending your knees a lot, this is going to be even more awkward. So take a full breath in, extend the heart forward. Now the exhalation, you're going to twist over to the right. So keep your left knee bent, straighten out the right knee any degree, and draw the head of the right arm bone back. And turn your head to look up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale, rebend your right knee and release all the way down. Grab hold of opposite elbows and just take a form of ragdoll here. Maybe sway a little bit from side to side. Come to stillness and release. Second side. So again, bend the knees a whole bunch. Right arm comes in between. Internally rotate through the right shoulder. Sweep your left arm around and grab your right hand. So you're coming into like a monkey grip. Take a full breath in. On the exhalation, let's lean a little bit over to the right as you straighten your left knee out any degree. Draw the head of the left arm bone back and open up to the right. Sorry, to the left side, my bad. On your next inhalation, bend your left knee and release back to center. Exhale, ground, come back to hips distance and ground your hands and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, forward into plank. Exhale, into chaturanga. Inhale, take up dog. Exhale it up, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and exhale it out. Inhale, sweep your right leg up and step it forward. Ground the legs, draw the inner thighs in and back. And now inhale, sweep it up. Take your left hand to the middle of your shoulder blades and sweep the right arm around and catch a hold of your your left hand. I don't know what's up with me, my left and my rights today. For whatever reason, if your shoulders might be a bit tight here and you aren't able to bind, use your shirt or your strap. Take another full breath in here. I'm just going to turn around because I don't want to back you. Or you can get your strap and make life a little bit easier. On one side for me, I can bind like a boss. The other side is like, wah. This is that side. With using the strap though, what I would suggest is take it in your left hand and flip it up. Then you can find it with the right. Okay. So from here, hug the inner shins in, move the inner thighs back, pull so that left elbow's pointing up as the right is pointing down. Pull the ribs in, take a full breath in. Exhale, go ahead and drop your back heel and open it up into Virabhadrasana 2 with your cow face arms. Just twist a little bit more to the left. Hold it here. Make sure your arm isn't winning and pushing your chin down to your chest. So really push the back of your head into that forearm to open up the shoulder. Take another inhale here. And exhale, slowly release your bind and float your arms into Warrior 2. Virabhadrasana 2 with the arms. Take a full inhale here and exhale into side angle. You have the choice to bind here as well if you wish. Fingertips come down to the earth on the inside of the leg. The left hand can start at the hip if you're going for the bind. If you're not going for the bind, then extend your left arm alongside your left ear. If you want to bind, just like we did in that forward fold, come down a little bit lower and internally rotate through the right shoulder and sweep the hand around behind you. You can use your strap here as well and sweep it around from the left hand and hold onto it. Once you've got it, this is the part that to finish this bind. Draw your left hip back and pull it towards the center. And now open up, curl the left arm bone back. Really feel that twist and gazes up towards the sky. Big breath in. And exhale, release. Straighten out your right knee and extend your left fingertips up for Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle pose. Full inhale. Full exhale. Listen carefully. With the power of your legs, push down and pick yourself all the way up. Windmill your hands to the back of the mat. So turn the left toes, they'll be in front. And take the right hand down, up on fingertips. Take a full breath in and exhale into a twist. Left arm up towards the sky. We're coming back to the front. Ground the back heel and windmill back to the front again, all the way back to the front of your mat. Step it back, downward facing dog. You have the option to rest or flow, your choice. If you're flowing, shift forward into your plank, rest the knees, lower into chaturanga. Take Shalambhasana, Bhujangasana, so many options of your back bend. And slowly release, up and back, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Step it through to the top of your mat. Take a moment here to check in. Check in with yourself and your thoughts, and how you're feeling right now. And now slowly come all the way up. Bring your strap with you if you need it. I like how it feels to use the strap, so I'm going to use it again. So with your strap in your right hand this time, sweep the right arm up. Allow the strap to fall between the shoulder blades. Internally rotate through your left shoulder now and reach for your strap or for your fingers. Pull the strap apart. Draw the head of the arm bones back and feel the shoulder blades pinned to the back of the rib cage. Take a full breath in, lengthen the spine, reach the elbow of the top arm up as you ground the elbow down on the left side. Drop your back heel and open up into Virabhadrasana, legs with your cow face upper body. Take a full inhale here and exhale. Turn a little bit more towards the long side of the mat, the torso. So you're really feeling that opening through the front of the left shoulder and the right. One more full breath in and out here. And then slowly release your bind. You can keep the strap in your hand if you're using it for the bind and side angle, and open up into Virabhadrasana 2. With wisdom, there comes a sense of maturity. And I can attest to that because I remember when I was much younger, I wanted to rip everybody's head off that upset me. Oh boy, I used to blaze them. I guess that's a Scorpio in me. From here, moving into our side angle. So deepen the bend on the left knee to bring your thigh to parallel to make it a little bit easier to get into that bind. Left hand on the inside, internally rotate, sweep your right arm around, catch a hold of your strap. Now you may notice your butt sticking out. So we need to draw that back in. So pull the left hip back and under. Now take a full breath into the back of the body. And now twist. Open up to the long side of the mat. Draw the head of the right arm bone back. The irony with Marichi is that he's a sage, wise and powerful, but still wasn't able to control his reactions, his responses, his emotions. One last inhale here and exhale, slowly release. And open up into Utthita Trikonasana. Straighten out the right, left knee any degree and reach the right fingertips up. From here, ground the legs and reach through the right fingertips. So lift all the way up. Cartwheel or windmill to the back of your mat. Right foot is in the front now. Left fingertips down. Inhale. Reach it forward and exhale. Open up into your triangle, your twist. Full breath in. Exhale. And now windmill back to the front of your mat. So drop the back heel all the way back to the front and step it back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga or ardha chaturanga. And take it into your back bend of choice. You have 3 choices. Rest your hands and step it up and back to downward facing dog. Pause here. What's interesting too is that he didn't even try to make amends. He didn't even try to change or cancel out that curse that he placed on his wife no less. He just stood firm and resolute in his decision. He didn't care. And sometimes we do that. Sometimes you're like, okay, well, I said this, I'm going to stand by it. But did we really mean it? Or was it just in the heat of the moment? Sometimes pride, or we can be embarrassed to have to go back and apologize. But if we pause and take a moment to really stop and reflect and assess, then we don't have to worry about those things. We can respond kind or walk away and come back when our heads is a little bit more calm and level. Take a full breath in and another huge breath out. Sweep your right leg up and step it through. Come up onto fingertips or hands to blocks. Lower the pelvis. Take a full breath in as you curl your heart forward and up. And exhale, straighten out your front knee, pick the toes up, drop your back heel into pyramid long stance. 2 more times. Inhale, shift it forward. And exhale, rock it back. Last one here. Inhale, shift it forward. Exhale, rock it back and hold. Really focus on spreading your toes wide. Keep a bit of a bend to your knee. Press the heel down and draw the front heel to the back heel. Heart is moving forward so your spine stays long. Pick up the back heel, rebend the front knee, and ground the legs and come all the way up. Hands to hip. Hop your back foot in and drop the heel. Slowly straighten out the front knee for a form of pyramid pose, Parsva Konasana. Take the hands around behind you and interlace your fingers. Keep a bend to the elbow. Inhale, reach the heart forward and up, and exhale, hinge the hips back as you move into a fold. Moving your bind up and over, stretching the shoulders up. So pick the head of the arm bones up, lift them up towards the sky. Sorry, Parsvottanasana, my bad. Slowly rebend your front knee, release your fingertips to the floor. Stretch your arms way out like you were doing a functional forward fold. Shift the weight into your right leg, float your left. Take a full breath in, extend through the crown and through the sole of your left foot, and exhale, fold into standing splits. Just staying here for a breath or two. Listen carefully. We're going into a reverse lunge, if you will. So from here, bend your right knee. Rest the left toes to the back of the mat. Bend your left knee as you straighten out your right. Walk your hands back. So you can always take a peek at me if you're unclear. To take this a little bit deeper, to get into that hamstring, flex your right ankle. Pull the toes up towards your shin. Draw your right hip back. Heart moves forward. Breathe. Shift forward into a lunge and exhale it back into downward facing dog. Your choice to take a rest or go through your vinyasa, or perhaps some Shakti waves might be more what you're feeling for. And then move on to the second side. Let's all meet up in downward dog. Left leg lifts. Step it through. Come up onto fingertips or hands to blocks. Bend your left knee, lower the pelvis. Take an inhale here and exhale, shift back. Ground your back heel, lift the front toes. And repeat. Hold it here. On the third one, front leg is straight. Heart is moving forward. Draw the outer shins in as you move your inner thighs back. I remember having a situation with my sister once. Oh, she got me so mad. And normally I would just fly off the cuff and just have at it. But something, I decided that, yes, what she said hurt me, but I wanted to figure out why. So I paused, rebend your front knee, come back into the lunge, ground your legs and come all the way up. Drop your back heel. Make sure that the outer edge of your foot is as firmly planted as the inner, and slowly straighten out your left knee. But keep a bit of a bend and really hug all the muscles equally to the bones and bring the hands around behind you. Take a full breath in as you reach your bind away, lifting the heart forward and up. And on your exhalation, hinge your hips back and come into your fold. And I took time to think about, why did it upset me so much? And I decided whether I needed to say anything to her or not. And I chose not to, because I realized that it was me. What she said may not necessarily have been the best or the kindest thing to say, but it wasn't wrong. And I just took what she said and, let it go. Slowly rebend your left knee. Reach your fingertips to the front of your mat. Shift your weight into your left leg. Float the right. Take a full breath in and exhale, fold into your standing splits. Pick the right inner thigh up and draw your left hip back here. One more breath in and exhale. Coming into our reverse lunge, rest the right toes to the back of the mat. Walk your hands back. Bend your right knee, straighten out your left leg. Spread the toes. Rebend the left knee, straighten the right, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward into plank. Exhale into chaturanga. Inhale, bhujangasana, shalambhasana, or urdhva mukha svanasana. Slowly release. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, bend your knee, open up your hip. And I'll sweep your right foot forward, resting your shin down for pigeon. Let the left knee rest. Come up onto fingertips. Walk your left knee back. And now scissor the legs closed. Take your right hand into the center, right in front of you, and bend your left knee. Reach your left arm back to grab a hold of the outside of your left foot. Once you've grabbed your foot, or you can use your strap here, spread the toes wide and press your foot into your hands. Continue to curl your heart forward and up and hug strongly into the midline. You can pull the heel, you can try or play with pulling the heel a little bit closer to open up the front of your left quad. Slowly release. Go ahead and plant your hands and step it back to downward facing dog. Second side. Left leg lifts, bend your knee, open up your hip, and rest your left shin to the front of your mat. I paused there for a moment because I was like, wait, what leg did we do? Rest your right knee down, walk it back. Scissor the legs. Come up onto fingertips. Or again, if you have a block is a great way to help get a little bit more height here as well. So pull the low belly in and lift from the pubic bone all the way up towards your sternum. So the spine is nice and long. Take the left hand into the center, just to give you a little bit more balance here. And go ahead and bend your right knee. Sweep the right arm back. You can grab the outside or the in, but I prefer the outside. Spread the toes and press your foot into your hand. Keep your heart moving forward. So you might feel a little bit of opening here, but spin the inner right side back and spin the left side back so the heart is more facing forward. You can bend the knee a little bit more and open up the front of the right quad and hip a little bit. And then slowly release. Step it back to downward facing dog. Shakti waves or march it out. Or perhaps absolute stillness. Take a moment to reflect. Do you agree with Marichi's response? Do you agree with Dharmavata's decision Have you been either one of them at any point in time in your life? How might you have dealt with that situation if you were in it? Shift forward from downward dog into plank. Rest your knees. Bring your forearms down. And now bring your pelvis down. Stretch your toes away from you. Pelvis is heavy. Inner thighs are moving up towards the sky. Just check your elbow placement and make sure that they're in line with your shoulders. Take an inhale. Lift from the back of the heart and curl it forward and up for Sphinx pose. Chin in, back of neck long. Isometrically and gently drag your heels or draw your elbows towards the back of the mat. Inhale and exhale, slowly release. Make a pillow with your hands and just rest your forehead to the back of your hands. Take a full breath in, fill the rib cage all the way up, hold it in. And exhale it out. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Bring your hands to the sides of the body. Elbows are pointing up. Tuck your toes. Press down into the toes, the knees, and your hands. Inhale to the knees. And exhale, have a seat. Bring your legs around in front of you. I'm going to stay facing this way because I think if I stretch my legs out, you won't see my feet. Okay. So don't forget, keep your strap nearby. So let's start by grounding the pelvis. So moving the inner thighs back. Okay. We're going into Dandasana. So with your legs at hips distance, toes pointing straight up, and spread them. And when you flex your ankles really strongly, you may notice a little bit of a sickling action happening at the ankles. So to counter that, push through the big toe mounds and then spread the little toes and then try to curl the little toes up towards the outside of the shins to prevent that sickling action. So ground the thigh bones down into the earth and bring your hands by the sides. I'm going to take mine a little bit further back just because of how long my arms are, but you bring yours by your hips. I mean, if you need to take them back, then you do that as well. Press down with the hands and the legs and the heels into the earth. Lift your chest up so the spine is long. So watching out for this anterior carriage, bring the chin in so that the back of the neck stays nice and long. And you'll notice you get a little bit more lift through the chest and through the spine when you do that. Hold it here and continue to breathe equally in and out through your nose. Samavriti Ujjayi breath. And inhale and exhale, release. I say we can allow ourselves to just collapse here for a moment. Dandasana is a lot of work. Moving into Janu Shirshasana. So keep your keep your left leg grounded, and let's go ahead and bend the right knee and bring the sole of the foot to the inseam of the left leg. So if, like me, your knee is hanging in the air, support it with a block or throw pillow. And you can even open up a little bit wider with the left leg, so if it feels more comfortable as well in your pelvis. Reset. Ground your left leg. Again, press the thigh bone down into the earth. Press the heel, spread the toes. Take a full breath in, reach both arms up. Exhale, hinge your hips back and reach forward. So any amount of fold here will do. And this is a great opportunity to use your strap here as well. Straps are our allies. You can push the ball of the foot into the strap, hinge your hips back, and still keep your spine nice and long. Ground your legs and inhale, rise up. And exhale, release. Go ahead and change sides. You can take a moment here just to shake the legs out gently. And then second side. So right leg is grounded this time and you're bending your left knee. Supporting it as necessary. Use your strap. So you can take it into your hands. Take a full breath in. Exhale, hinge. And wrap the strap around the ball of your foot. It's not necessary. I mean, you don't have to use it, but I think I like how it feels, getting that little extra help. So a couple of things to look for here. Your shoulders might want to round up. We want to draw them back and slide them down. So we're not creating tension in our neck, which can happen when we shrug the shoulders. Go ahead and ground your legs and inhale, reach up. And exhale, release. Okay. So let's come back to the left side. Can you see me okay this way, or should I turn around? Turn around? I didn't get the hand. I need to brush up on my sign language. So, well, I'll tell you what. We're going to come into a twist first and then go into Marichi. So I'll face this way just for... Oh, you're telling me yes? Oh, gosh. Actually, you can't see my foot. Okay, cool. So the left leg is straight. Yeah, I can sit further back so you can see more of me. Your left leg is going to be straight and grounded just as it is for Dandasana. And you're bending your right knee. Now, the right knee is going to be bent to a degree where you can get your heel as close to your right sitting bone as possible. Okay? For me, a little bit further away feels more comfortable because what's also important here with this pose is being able to ground your sitting bones. We're starting with a twist and then we'll go for the bind and everything. I also like to keep about the width of my hand, that amount of space between my inner thigh and my foot. That's my personal preference there. It also makes sense because it gives you a little bit of room for the pelvis to move. Okay, so from here, take the right arm up. That's your inhale. And exhale, bring it on the inside of your right thigh. And allow that to create a little bit of leverage. I'm actually too close to my wall, so I'm going to come at an angle. Take the left hand behind you. We're going into a twist. It's an open twist. So you're going to take a full breath in and exhale, twist over to the left. You may feel your right leg wants to win because of the twist, but push the leg in so it doesn't win. And just you can anchor the hand either on the floor or on the outside of your left shin and hold that there, or just let it float and push them into each other so you can get that twist and hold it there. Don't forget your left leg. And inhale, slowly unwind. And exhale, release. Go ahead and straighten out your right knee. When I think about Marichi and the fact that all these twisted variations are dedicated to him, it just speaks to the complexity of the man to be in such a position of power and to seemingly lack the wisdom or the insight to not go off half-cocked and turn people to stone just because you're offended by their actions. It's just it's really mind-blowing. I'm sure we can think of many people in our lives, or at least one person in our life that we might have encountered that has a similar personality. Okay, let's twist to the other side before we go into Marichi. So bend your left knee. Find your comfort zone, whichever position will allow you to get your sitting bones grounded, as well as keep the integrity of the strength of your right leg. All right. Start by taking that right hand behind you. Take a full breath in, reach up, and exhale, move into your twist. So reach the left hand forward, hook it here, push these two into each other, and turn over to your right. Too close to my wall again. There we go. And now inhale. And exhale, release. Shake it out. Okay, we'll start with a variation first. And you can stay with the variation and then we can build it and go for the fold and the bind, all of it. So left leg grounded, bend your right knee. I'm just trying to think which hand it might be better to have the strap. And I think it might be best to have the strap in the right hand. And make sure you have enough length. I folded mine in half and then in half again. Because you want to have enough length so when you swing it around behind you, you can grab it. So hold near the end of the strap. So we'll start with that same position that we just came into for the twist. Heel as close to the sitting bone as you can, as it will allow you to sit up. So both sitting bones are grounded, inner thighs back. And now take a full breath in, reach your right arm up and exhale, hinge forward. Now you can stay here. You can take your left peace fingers and grab a hold of your left big toe and stay here. So in that position, you're in a bit of a fold, but your spine is a little bit more perpendicular as opposed to flexed. So you can stay there and leave the whole bind out. If you want to go for the bind, internally rotate through the right shoulder, lean forward and sweep. Maybe this is not working. Sweep the strap around. And then take the left arm and internally rotate and reach for your strap. Okay. Now ground the pelvis. Take a full breath and lift the heart up. And exhale, hinge from the hips. Check in with your shoulders. Remember I mentioned them shrugging up to the ears. Draw the head of the arm bones back and down and hold. Ground your left leg. Make sure the right foot's grounded too. And hold it here. Marichi Asana 1. Ground the pelvis and the leg. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. Shake it out. Okay, second side. Ground your right leg. Go ahead and bend your left knee. Come into your form of our prep. So choosing to stay right here, full breath in, reach up and hold and stay here. Or go for the bind. So if you're going for the bind, get the internal rotation going first. I find it helpful to lean forward to get it so I can get my arm, snuggle the shin bone or the knee into the armpit and spin it around. Sweep it around so you can get the strap behind you. Yeah. And now, same thing, internally rotate through the right shoulder and grab your strap. Okay. Full breath into the back of the body, create that space. Exhale, draw the navel in, hinge the hips back, heart moves forward. Forehead to shin. Breathe deeply and fully here. I have seen some people lift their sitting bones, the left sitting bone off and move it back and then settle it down to get a little bit more clearance. You can try it, see how that feels for you. Breathe. Head of arm bones back and down. Take a moment, pause and reflect. Think before you speak or act. And now ground the pelvis in the legs and inhale, rise up, slowly release. And exhale, let it all go. Shake it out. Good. Make your way into constructive rest. Arms can come into a cactus form. Breathing deeply and fully. Slowly windshield wiper your knees from side to side a couple times. Moving very slowly, very purposefully, just as we need to when we're thinking about what we want to say, using the right words, the right tone to express ourselves so we can be heard and understood and not offend. And the next time your knees make their way to your right, allow them to come all the way down to your mat. Tone your lower belly, bring your knees back up and allow them to shift all the way over to your left. And slowly come back to center. Take a few moments now to just feel into your body and assess what symmetrical pose can I do now that's really going to seal in this practice for me. Perhaps a happy baby form, or knees into the chest, or legs up the wall, or bridge pose. You decide, what do you need right now? There may be a Supta Baddha Konasana. And then you can extend your legs fully, 1 foot each corner of your mat in preparation for Shavasana. Oh, might be a pretty short one today. Once again, becoming aware of your surroundings and becoming aware of your body on your mat, becoming aware of your breath, moving your fingers and your toes, just gently starting to wake up. You might draw your knees into your chest and give yourself a great big hug and squeeze. And bring your feet to the floor and make your way onto your side. And then slowly make your way up and join in a comfortable seated position with your hands at your heart. I just want to thank you all so much for sharing your energy with me this morning and trusting me to guide you through your practice today. Be free, be true, and always be you. Blessed be. Thank you very much, ladies. And remember to think, pause, reflect before you act or before you speak. Don't go turning anybody into stone.